Welcome. Today we're going to be discussing collaborating skills. Jack, you had a story from a number of years ago where you were developing a multi-million-dollar innovation center at Penn State. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yes, the Innovation Center was to energize the undergraduate engineering curriculum by putting into it leadership, innovation, entrepreneurship, business practices.
Yeah.
And I had an advisory group which was a spectrum of individuals, all of which had different ideas. On one end, we had those people who said, let's have every student take these courses as part of their Penn State engineering degree. We had at the other end people that said, well, let's just start by experimenting with one course and see how it goes. So everybody was passionate, everybody had their own ideas, and they were expressing them. But over time, we started getting closer together and fresh ideas popped up.
Creative ideas.
Fresh creative ideas. And in those fresh creative ideas, we came up with the idea of a leadership minor that people could take as an option, had 6 courses in it, and ultimately satisfied all our needs.
Right, right.
This is a great example of overcoming something that we call the problem A, problem B paradox. So you've got a group of people coming together, they're all trying to solve the same problem, right? Problem A, and they're really passionate about it. And then you've got this problem B thing, which is, well, I've got a bunch of people and they've got all these different views, and they may seem to be conflicting. And it seems like a paradox. The same differences that we need to solve the problem are getting in our way.
So you have the problem, but then you also have a problem because of the process of everyone working together.
Exactly. How do you navigate all those changes? But if you think about it as a paradox, you can get through it.
Yeah.
You think, okay, we've got all these differences. How can we identify the differences that actually are going to move us forward? And the differences that are getting in our way. And the differences that are getting in your way, set them aside, push them off to the side, and focus on the ones that are helping you move forward. We call the differences in creative diversity cognitive gaps. So gaps in creative style, gaps in creative level, gaps in motive. You've got to identify them and then find the way to make them work for you.
Right. There's an interesting book called Crucial Conversations, and it has some of these same kind of concepts in it. The idea is that each of us comes in with certain facts that we have, certain feelings that we have, and our own identities that we have. And so you're trying to bring all of these onto the table when you come into the room. And so everybody puts these out so that we can all see them, get all the meaning on the table. And now we're able to do what you mentioned before, Jack, and that is to select what are the pieces that we need to get to the end problem.
And you can build bridges that way too.
Right.
Once I know how we're different, and I identify and I say, yeah, but you know, that's a good thing. We can build a bridge of understanding between us, and then we can make use of that. And I think you even have some sayings, some words, right, that people use to help you do that?
Well, what I noticed was at first everybody was saying, yes, but. This is my idea. Yes, but. And as we got closer and closer together, it became yes, and. We're building on each other's
powerful
ideas.
Distinction, isn't it?
It is.
It is, and now I use it in my companies. We are a yes and company, not a yes but company.
Right.
So one of the techniques that we can use when we're in a team or in our family, right, or in a club, it doesn't have to be a formal team, is think about kind of an audit of your creative diversity. Put it all out on the table. All the creative styles and levels and motives and views of opportunity that you have, and identify the ones that are positive, that are going to help you move forward, and put the other ones aside.
Exactly. And there's one other thing we might need to consider, and that is, what is the medium by which we are actually communicating? In the case of your organization, you were communicating in a room in person. When I'm working with my family, of course, I work in person with people, and that's nice because you get to hear their words and you get to read their body language so that you can understand their meaning sometimes a little more clearly. Some media are a little tougher to use. If you're using email or texting, you can convey the facts, but sometimes the feeling gets a little lost in that communication mode. And then there are the in-between modes such as Skype, which we've used fairly successfully with this MOOC, and that is you can hear what the person is saying and you can see their body language on the screen. So with those pieces, we have established different aspects of collaborative interactions. Thank you for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you next time.